There are new revelations tonight about the role Beijing is playing in Australian politics. A Four Corners expose has revealed two Chinese-Australian writers were interrogated by Chinese officials over their ties to a Turnbull government advisor. One of the two men, Yang Hengjun, was later intercepted and detained by Chinese intelligence. His wife has now broken her silence, telling the joint investigation by Four Corners, The Age and the Sydney Morning Herald that Australia needs to fight harder for her husband's release.
In 2016, the then Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull asked ASIO to conduct a classified investigation into Beijing's interference in Australia. Former Fairfax China correspondent John Garneau was handpicked by Mr Turnbull to partner with ASIO on the investigation.
I have been involved in a classified project and I clearly can't talk about the contents of that project.
Two of his friends, Chinese-Australian writers Yang Hengjun and Dr Feng Chongyi, were pressured to talk. In 2017, Dr Feng says he was detained for several days in China by security officials and interrogated about Mr Garneau.
They knew a lot about him. Actually, during the interrogation, they did not hide their anger with him.
Chinese security officials warned Dr Feng that if he disclosed the details of his interrogation, he would face criminal charges.
The fact that an Australian resident could be detained without any legal process in a hotel room in Guangzhou for the best part of a week shows a certain disregard or disparagement for our ability to defend the rights of our own citizens and our residents.
China is seeking to influence our elites, particularly our political and business elites, in order to achieve their strategic objectives.
In 2018, Yang Hengjun was also allegedly intercepted and questioned by Chinese officials in Sydney ahead of a meeting with John Garneau.
He was asked about me, what was the nature of our relationship, what was I doing, what was I working on.
In January, Yang Hengjun was again detained by Chinese officials when he flew from the US to Guangzhou. Mr Yang's wife has risked her own safety to speak out.
To be honest, I have been very disappointed. I hope the Australian government will show some basic care about this case.
Mr Yang is an Australian citizen. He enjoys the rights and responsibilities of Australian citizenship, and so his detention, in a sense, is a detention of us all.
The Australian government says it's doing what it can to secure Mr Yang's release. Lucy Carter, ABC News.